Hi, ProGrace community. As you know, we do not take a political stand on abortion. And yet, what happened on August 8th in Ohio has me thinking about this and wanting to unpack a few things with all of you. So please do get back to us. Let us know if you have specific questions about this or want to contribute to the conversation. What happened in Ohio was that issue one was on the ballot. So if you voted for issue one, you wanted to make it more difficult to amend the state constitution, primarily because there will be an initiative on the ballot in November to codify abortion rights in Ohio. If you voted against issue one, you wanted to keep the status quo, making it no more difficult to amend the state constitution so that that law would have an easier time passing. And Ohioans voted against issue one by about 14 percentage points. Now, this is very interesting. A lot of people are making comments on it because this is actually a different outcome than we normally see in Ohio. And I do think that we need to stop and ask questions about it. Now, I don't have an answer. I haven't seen really good exit polls. I think a great exercise for us in the ProGrace community would be to ask people in our sphere of influence, what do you think? You know, if it were on the ballot in your state, what would you do and why? Because I feel like if we were able to ask those Ohio voters those questions, we would hear a lot of, I don't think we're doing enough for women. I'm not sure where I stand exactly, but this doesn't feel right that we would ban abortion. There seems to be a lot of nuance coming into the conversation now as this is going state by state. Now, you know, the reason I do what I do and have been doing it for 7 years is because I don't believe that either political side really offers any solutions or addresses the root needs why women have abortions. So whether it's legal or illegal, those provisions and those laws do nothing to address the panic, isolation, and shame that women experience, that their partners sometimes experience, that their extended families experience. Those laws do nothing to create more emotional support or give more practical resources. In fact, I was driving through a neighboring state not that long ago, and I saw a lot of billboards urging people not to have abortions. And in that state, I had a meeting with someone who had taken a trip to another Midwestern state. And she said, oh my gosh, I looked at these billboards and thought, there's all this effort going into this, but it's not going to do anything to actually meet the needs of people, why they feel abortion is their only choice. And so as this heats up politically, as we enter into a more divisive political season over this next year, I just want to encourage all of us that I believe God has gotten ProGrace and our community ready for such a time as this. I think there are a lot of people in our country who are coming to the same realizations that the answer is not really political. And this to me is a time for the church to rise up, for us to say, we see the needs here. We see what the woman is experiencing. We care about the child. We care about the man. We care about the extended family. And we want to be a community of support. We want to actually be the hands and feet of Jesus. And my heart is that Christians would not succumb to the political divide. I know there are going to be Christians who land on both sides politically. I take very seriously my responsibility as an American to vote. I hope that we all in the ProGrace community do as well. I just think that our higher loyalty is to the kingdom. And that is a place in a kingdom response, in a Jesus-centered response, that we can come together. Imagine the church united, not in our political leanings, but in the way we think Jesus would show up for people who feel like abortion is their only choice, for people who've experienced abortion in the past, for people who are struggling with an unintended pregnancy, if they want to parent or place for adoption, that we would be a community, that we would have a different narrative than the one that is out there that says, you're on your own, you know, this is just what happened to you, and we're just going to care whether it's legal or not. That is so not helpful to the actual people who are experiencing this. And so I just want to encourage us that I do think God is doing a new thing. I think there'll be more people wanting to join our community and that we can start having these conversations. What do you think about what's happening? Listening to other people so that we can get a finger on the pulse of what's happening in our culture and we can better communicate God's heart, his equal value for all people.